Joining me now is Ann Panarelli from the Department of Student Services with some news about the Alternative Schools program. Welcome, Ann.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
I would like to give our viewers kind of a sense of what our alternative learning centers are.
Alternative learning centers are programs that we started for students in the ages of kindergarten through grade 10 who are really struggling behaviorally in their schools. The schools have tried a variety of interventions and still the kids continue to struggle behaviorally. Many of them engage in some behavior that gets them referred to the hearings office for possible expulsion. And rather than expel them from the school system, we provide the alternative learning centers as a place where we can do intensive interventions for those students and work with them, and then return them back to the school that they came from typically.
So what are some of those interventions you're describing?
Well, when they first come in, we want to be sure that we have a complete picture of the child. So we look very carefully, we evaluate their reading skills, their math skills, we look at their records. We work closely with the child themselves and with their parents to establish goals that they would like to see, that they would feel would really turn around the situation, so that most children really want to do well in school. And it gives them an opportunity to set goals in that way in a small environment. The classes are small, and the teachers work with them very closely. So they form very close relationships with the teachers, and they come to believe in themselves and their ability to do better.
That's wonderful. So we really give kids multiple chances to succeed in our school system.
Absolutely. Again, we find that often when a child has been struggling behaviorally, there's some things going on in their family or in their background that the child is just having a difficult time, and we may not know in a larger setting everything that was going on. Some of our children who have come almost hide from their regular teacher in their school. They would not say that there was conflict in the home, or that, oh, I don't know, someone had been arrested, or that they were homeless even. In a small setting where they are seeing teachers and gradually growing to trust them more and more, some things come out a month or 2 months after the child has been with us that sort of forms the core of what was going on, and then we can help. Sometimes we can't fix the problem that was going on at home, but we can help the child develop some skills to be able to function better in school and to see school as a safe place where maybe they can put some of those things that are difficult for them that are going on behind them, and know that during the school day here they're with people who care and with people who are wanting to see them be successful. And we're quite pleased that when they go back to the school, they've established some skills to learn to establish those same relationships in the new environment that they go back to.
Now, we have some successful alternative high schools. How do they compare?
Well, as I said, our alternative learning centers are for students up to grade 10. If a student were to get into some sort of trouble in grade 11 or 12, they're older students, they would go to the alternative high school. But most of the students who go to the alternative high school are not students who have had some sort of a discipline problem or a behavior problem.
Which is what a lot of people think.
Absolutely. They are, often our students at the alternative high schools are students who, for whatever reason, may need to work full-time jobs, and they need a slightly more flexible schedule. They are students who may have been sick and out of school, and they certainly are welcome to return to the school that they left, but they may find after being out for a year that they no longer feel like they are on the same wavelength as the other kids, and so they want to go to an alternative high school. Some of the students, many of the students, are students who have come to our country later at 15, 16, 17, and by the time they have developed enough English skills, again, they are often working full-time or are supporting their families in other ways, and they find the alternative high school, which is again smaller than our typical high schools, and has more flexible scheduling of classes and those sorts of things to meet their needs.
Right. Now I understand you've made some changes to the alternative learning centers. Tell us about those.
So we previously had 4 alternative learning centers for students in grades 7 through 10. And because our schools have been promoting positive behavior supports across the entire school system the number of students who are getting suspended, the number of students who are getting into disciplinary infractions has been dropping over time. So we found that we really didn't need 4 programs for kids from grades 7 through 10, and that 3 would be sufficient for their needs. So as long as we were going to be closing one of the programs, we looked and we found that the other, that rather than having programming for kids in grades 7 through 10 at each location, it would make more sense instructionally to have one place which will be on Montrose Road in Alexandria for students in grades 7 and 8, and then 2 locations for students in grades 9 and 10. So currently existing, and we continued, the alternative learning centers for grades 9 and 10 will be on the grounds of the alternative high schools. And therefore, being high school students, they can access electives and things that we couldn't offer in the alternative learning centers because we were too small, but they can utilize the alternative high school electives. The other thing that we did was, the alternative learning centers previously were not quite a full school day, and we expanded their hours to make them a full school day and matched the hours of the high school to the alternative high schools. And previously, alternative high school students did not receive transportation, but because we've now matched the hours with the alternative learning center, we're going to be able to provide transportation to all the students.
Excellent.
Students at the alternative learning centers and students at the alternative high school.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing all this great information.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks so much.